Mo Phillips here, back again with another motherfucking book review. Keith Morris's My Damage. Got off of the fiction train this past week after seeing the Circle Jerks last weekend out here in Honolulu. Knew their name, knew a couple hits from back when I was first getting into punk rock, like fucking almost 20 years ago. Always been a big fan of Black Flag. Didn't really know the history though, but I got pretty well acquainted with it, and here knew the name Henry Rollins, Greg Ginn, however you say it. But I really didn't know shit about Keith Morris. And at the Circle Jerk show last weekend, hey Chippy, it's my dog over there. I was at the merch stand and got a million fucking t-shirts, but never really saw a book at a merch stand for a musician anyway, and I thought it was a great opportunity to pick up something other than a new fucking t-shirt or a vinyl record that's gonna sit on display that I rarely listen to, and it's just another collectible. But got something out of the book, pretty happy about that, and it's signed. That's pretty fucking cool. I'm a huge fan of musicians' autobiographies. Kind of get to put the pieces together of all these other bands that I had no idea were interconnected in some way. Like, these guys were all over the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who I fucking love, and, you know, other names pop up like The Descendants, TSOL. Didn't know about his band Off. So it's a pretty cool opportunity to learn about other musicians or bands in that same sphere that I appreciate and had no idea were somehow related to each other, or they were hanging out, or maybe he played fucking bass or drums or some shit for one of their bands or side projects. And it's just it's like living history, you know. I love history, have a degree in history, working towards a fucking master's at some point in that. But this is like cultural history, artist history, and these guys, not every musician, but a lot of them lived really wild lives, and they barely remember some of it. So if they don't write that shit down, then it will absolutely be lost to history. And I really appreciate musicians' autobiographies for that reason, or any artist in general. I found it coincidental that I'm going to Los Angeles for the first time now in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever. And I didn't know anything about Keith Morris. I knew Black Flag was from the West Coast, but didn't really realize it was like pretty strictly LA. So hearing all these names of these clubs, other acts from that area in that time period, even playing together today, still had reunions, completely different lineup, whatever. Just found it interesting, maybe a little serendipitous, that I'm reading a book about a very famous LA musician who was part of a music movement that I cherish very deeply. And now I'm going there a couple weeks. Pretty cool. My dad asked me if I know if the Whiskey A Go-Go that the Doors wrote about like 60 years ago is still open, so gotta look that up. I don't think I have time to stop there if it is. Don't drink. We don't got time for any concerts, sadly, but there's another piece of punk rock history that I'm happy that I indulged in. This is my book for the week. I think next I'm going to dip into some Hunter S. Thompson. I felt that calling me. You know, I let the books speak to me. Look at my shelf here. I got a couple bins of books in the garage. Flip through, pick one out, trying to not buy as many books, conserve some money, and actually tackle some of them here, because I've only read maybe about 50% of these. But yeah, if you get your hands on a copy of this, you're interested in some nonfiction, some musical history, some punk rock history, this is the one. Fucking read.